Hello, everyone. It's the Alchemical Crafter here. I'm jumping right into it today. I recently watched a video by Ink Art by Beth Cluth. I hope I said your last name right. It was Alcohol, Ink, and Stencils was the title of it. I'm going to link that video below my video. You really need to go watch that. I was amazed by what she did with her um, the ink and the stencils. It just was so beautiful. So I'm trying to recreate that using this specific stencil that I've been dying to use, and I've been using it a lot, but I'm just not yet been happy with it. But I am not very good at this. This is a total experiment. Of course, if you're watching me, you like experiments because I do a lot of experiments um, of things that I've never done before. So, but I really enjoy playing with my alcohol inks. And I was really hoping that, and I am going to do this again. I don't have that many inks to use, so went out this weekend in hopes of finding a whole bunch of new inks, and I didn't. I mean, I did, but what I found instead that I decided to purchase instead of the inks was liquid watercolor. Which, I mean, you think watercolors are already liquid, but no, they come in the little dropper bottles like these. And I thought I would try the same thing with liquid watercolor. So after I try the alcohol markers, not markers, alcohol inks here, I'm going to try using stencils with the liquid watercolor as well. I think also a problem I had with the alcohol ink here is that I just used whatever paper I had. And I really think with alcohol inks and watercolors, you really need to use specific paper, which I do with when I bought the watercolors, which I purchased after I did this part of the filming. I bought some paper to do those tests with, and I really like them a whole lot better. I decided to do another stencil here, and I like this one much better. Also, part of the reason my alcohol inks tests here did not do so well is that I was not patient. You really have to let these thoroughly dry. And she explains it so well. Seriously, I'm not going to go through the whole process with you. Watch her video. You'll see an expert. She's really cool. But anyway, I'm just going to let you watch the rest of this. I do show you these inks are, I think, Tim Holtz, or they may be. I will link the inks that I use. They may be that other brand that's escaping my mind right now. And the watercolor I show you in the video, but I will also link those below. And I will see you guys back at the end. Thank you so much for watching. So I decided to jump back in here in the middle of the video because I forgot that I did filmed this in two completely separate sessions. And so what I did here was after the pages dried, I pulled these off and these fell right off. And as you can tell, it didn't work that well for me. That was the best one, the one on the lower left where you can actually see the things, but it doesn't matter. They're still useful. I'm still going to use them as background stuff. I'll probably cut a couple of those leaves out, but I was not happy with it. This one was my favorite of the alcohol inks. It still was not perfect by any means, but it has definition and you can see it. I definitely can have a use for that. And the tree here, you can at least tell that it's a tree, at least on the left side. So I think that's a partial success and a partial failure. But anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do after these is I'm going to test out the watercolors. And you're going to see, and here's the set. And they just like little drop of water. I didn't know watercolors came this way. I'm very new to watercolors, but I thought these were really cool. I'm going to tell you in my first test with the watercolors, I decided to try out one of my favorite patterns, which is a mesh that I use in my gel printing all the time. And I've actually used it. Looks like cobwebs and stuff. I use it even in my journals and stuff just on its own. So I decided, well, it's a really cool pattern. I'll try it here. I don't advise this because this pattern is basically threads and cloth. And so what it's going to do, it absorbs all the watercolors. And I didn't realize how much of the watercolor I was putting down. And you're going to see me pulling, I even cut out a bunch of the video. I pulled so many prints trying to remove a bunch of the ink. And so, but I ended up liking the pattern very well. It was just, to me, not something I'm going to do again with this cloth. The very last one I do is with a stencil again, and it turns out perfectly. So again, I'm going to let you watch the rest of this, and I'll meet you back at the very end. Okay, so this was my final piece, and it's completely dry now, well, except for on the very edges. Um, what you really want to do is make sure when you press it down that it's dry, which I started to press down on the edges and I noticed it still wasn't dry, but I'm impatient. And so I went ahead and pulled it, but you're going to see because of the inside is so dry, it makes the pattern. Isn't that so cool? I absolutely love it. Again, not as good as the lady, Beth. Go watch her video. I'm going to link it below. Um, but that looks wet still, but I think it's because of the paper that it was on. Of course, on the edges, it still is very wet. But, and these are the ones that was made with the cloth, that were made with the cloth, I apologize. They came out really cool, but definitely not worth the effort because that was just cloth and it absorbed so much. And I made so many um, cleanup papers that, to pulling up the inks, yeah, right there, which I'll use as background pages and stuff. And some of those felt prints, I went ahead and just made marks on them. But yeah, and then I think, yeah, I think this is the only one of the first set that I kept. All the other ones I kept using as cleanup pages. But yeah, that's my test. So I really love it. I'm going to try it again with the alcohol inks, but with more patience and better stencils because the stencils do need to be completely flat. Uh, but and of course with better paper, which I did not do. I think my paper was also more absorbent. So anyway, hope you enjoyed watching this. I really hope you go and watch the other lady's video, Beth Beth Kluth, ink art by Beth Kluth. Um, and thank you again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.